Okay. Now, in further discussion about synapse, we saw synapse. It's a structure which responsible or which pass the information from one neuron to another neuron. So we also classified the synapse as per morphological, as per physiological. Physiological, it is a chemical synapse, and second is a electrical or gap junctions. We know there is a example of gap junctions which mainly present in cardiac tissue, as well as astrocytes, or it's one type of neuroglia. They also, between two astrocytes there is also gap junction. Chemical synapse, we have truly synapse, or we have truly space between two neuron. Secondly, we divide the synapse as per morphological. Exodendric synapse means axons make a synapse with dendrites of next neuron. Exosomatic means a presynaptic neuron make a synapse with a body. Somatic means body of, or a soma of next neuron. And axonic means a presynaptic neuron axons. They make a synapse with the axons of postsynaptic neuron. So this is a very basic thing about the synapse. Now talk about the some transmissions of synapse. So this is, I saw one synapse in a bigger diagram. I saw here the bigger diagram of one synapse. Basically, numbers of synapse or numbers of pre-synaptic knob. This is a synapse. This is a presynaptic neuron, or we call as a, generally this is the knob or synaptic button, or terminal buttons of axon. We note the diagram of neuron. This is the long axon. These axons now also they are branching, and the terminal parts are somewhat dilated. Either it is a oval shape or round shape. So this terminal part of axon, this is called as a, and they make a synapse with next neuron. So this terminal parts, this is also called as a synaptic knob, terminal button, synaptic knob, at whatever. There is many names. So this post-synaptic neuron make a synapse, or they get a synapse with thousands, for very few to thousands of presynaptic neuron. Means one neuron is having they make a synapse with the very few to thousands of presynaptic neuron. So this is the presynaptic neuron. This is postsynaptic neuron, or this is called as a presynaptic knob or button. This is the presynaptic membrane. This membrane, this is called as a presynaptic membrane. Here the postsynaptic membrane, and between pre and post there is some gap. This gap, this is called as a synaptic cleft, and usually it is a 200 to 300 Armstrong size, very microscopic structure. So in presynaptic neuron, some structure are most important. We saw the anatomical physiology of synapse. So presynaptic neuron contain and part, they contain the some mitochondria. This is the mitochondria which are responsible, they give the energy. They also contain some vesicles, and these vesicles are filled with the some chemical substance. This chemical substance is called as a neurotransmitter. This is called as a neurotransmitter. Whenever neurotransmitter are released, they bind with the postsynaptic neuron, and this postsynaptic neuron contains the receptor for this neurotransmitter. So whenever neurotransmitter release, they bind with the receptor which is usually present in postsynaptic membrane, not in presynaptic membrane. So whenever they bind with the postsynaptic neuron, when this release, they bind with the postsynaptic receptor. So they bind in this membrane. They shows the some biological alteration in postsynaptic neuron. So by this way information transferred. So let's see how information transferred from one neuron to another neuron. So whenever action potential or electrical impulse they reach to the terminal buttons or terminal knob, this is a presynaptic neuron. So whenever this action potential they are reached to the end part, terminal part, so there is some special types of ion channel present in a presynaptic neuron, or and this type of ion channel, special types of, this is the calcium ion channels. Calcium ion channels. This is the calcium ion channels. So whenever action potential reach to the terminal part, this special types of ion channel open. And we know more calcium present outside the cells. Calcium's more here. More calcium here. And inside the cell there is a less calcium. Concentration of calcium is less inside the cell. So what happen whenever action potential traveling from whole axons and reach to the terminal part, this calcium ion channels open. Now what happen whenever calcium ion channel open, calcium go inside the cell from outside to inside. Okay, this is a very basic phenomena because these ion channels they produce a facilitated diffusion. Means those ion which cannot cross the cell membrane, they are facilitated by ion channel. Okay, so calcium now facilitated diffuse from outside to inside because outside calcium concentration is more. So they go from outside to inside. Before there is no action potential, this calcium ion channel close. This close. But whenever as soon as action potential reach to the terminal part, this calcium ion channel open and calcium go inside. And whenever calcium influx, this is called as a calcium influx. Influx of calcium in the presynaptic neuron terminal, the vesicles bind with the membrane here. You know there is a vesicle. They bind with the membrane, and this membrane become ruptured and neurotransmitter release in synaptic cleft. So why this happen, this is not clear still, but it is seen that whenever calcium go inside the cells, this vesicles bind with the membrane and they ruptured and they release the chemical that is called as a neurotransmitter. So this is seen why it's happen and how it's happen. This is not clear, understood. But whenever calcium influx, what happen? Vesicle. Suppose this is a vesicle. They bind with the membrane after ruptured, and they release the neurotransmitter into the synaptic cleft. So now action potential travel from up to downward, and they convert into chemical energy as a form of neurotransmitter. What happened now? Neurotransmitter bind with the receptor which is usually present in postsynaptic neuron. Suppose here the receptor, or either now before talking about the post actions of neurotransmitter on receptor, before we understand how neurotransmitter work, or how the other chemical or toxins or drugs and hormones work on a receptor. Okay, so suppose this is a cell. This is a cell, any cells, either neuron or cardiac cells, muscles. So those chemical which is very large molecular weight, or those neurotransmitter or hormone which is highly charged and not lipid soluble, means it is a water soluble. These three molecules, large molecular weight, highly charged molecule, or water soluble substance, they cannot cross the cell membrane. So they act through some membrane receptor. Okay, so for that membrane receptor there is protein. Receptor is a macromolecule which is present on cell membrane. What is receptor? Receptor is a protein macroprotein, which is usually present in cell membrane. Or we know whatever chemical or drug or they cannot directly act, they act through the receptor. Either receptor present on surface, either receptor present in cytosol or cytoplasm, either receptor present in nucleus. But it cannot direct change the activity. They give some message, they give some informations. According to the information, cell work. Either they work through the membrane receptor, either receptor present inside the cytoplasm, either present on nuclear membrane, or receptor either present inside the nucleus. Whatever, but they act through the receptor. Without receptor, neurotransmitter or drug or hormone cannot work. Okay. Now those substances which are not cross the membrane, they work through the membrane receptor or whatever protein present on membrane. Or some hormone or some drugs, they can cross the membrane. It cross the membrane, but they are not directly activated the something, some information. They cannot decode the information decoded by the receptor. So for that, receptor present inside the cell, either in cytosol, either in a nuclear membrane, either inside the nucleus. But without receptor, any hormone, any drug, any toxins cannot work. Okay. So majority neurotransmitter is a larger molecule, either it is a highly charged or either it is a water soluble. So now we talk about the only neurotransmitter. So only we talk about the membrane receptor, not a cytosolic receptor or nuclear receptor. We know there is a thyroid hormone T3, T4 is a thyroid hormone. It is a very small molecule. They can cross the membrane. So receptor present inside the cell. Like a steroid hormone. All steroid hormone is a lipid soluble. So they can cross the cell membrane because cell membrane is made up of a lipid, basically phospholipids. So they can cross the membrane. They diffuse from outside to inside easily. So receptor present inside the cell, not a cell membrane. But majority neurotransmitter is either large molecule, either highly charged. If it is a small, but it is highly charged, like a epinephrine, norepinephrine, catecholamine. It's a highly charged molecule. So they cannot cross. Either it is a water soluble. So for that, receptor must be present on membrane surface. So by this, they bind with the receptor of present in surface. They act. They cannot cross the membrane like a thyroid hormone, like steroid hormone, like vitamin D. Active form of vitamin D, they also cross the cell membrane. It is a very smaller molecule. So now talk about the only neurotransmitter, because we talk about the nervous system. So how neurotransmitter work, first of all. So suppose this is a cell. On this cell's neurotransmitter work. Suppose neurotransmitter is acetylcholine, ACH. Acetylcholine is a types of neurotransmitter. We will discuss in a detail neurotransmitter in our neurotransmitter lecture. So this ACH, suppose this is a look like this star, acetylcholine. They cannot cross the cell membrane. So they act through the receptor. They bind with the receptor here, and whenever they bind with the receptor, they give us some message inside the cell. So there is no binding, there is no message. If acetylcholine bind with the receptor, they give some message. Okay. So by this way they act. The receptor are also two types. This is a 1-pass receptor and another is a 7-pass receptor. So some hormone, some neurotransmitter bind in a 1-pass receptor. Some neurotransmitter act through the 7-pass receptor. Whatever. We are not given in a detail which neurotransmitter work through which receptor. Another one is some neurotransmitter, they are bind with the ion channel, which is, what is ion channel? Suppose this is ion channel. Basically ion channel is a tube-like structure which is filled with the water specially, and they can permeable for special types of ion. Suppose this is a sodium ion channel, so they are only responsible for transportation of sodium from higher concentration to lower concentration. Suppose it is a second one, I draw it's a potassium ion channel, calcium ion channel, chlorine ion channels. They are responsible for specific ion, not a different type of ion. So these ion channels can be operated in different way. So types of ion channel we know. So they are operated as per mechanisms of operated. We divide the ion channels in a very different group. Some ion channels are leaky types. Leaky means they are always open. Suppose leaky potassium ion channels. This ion channel is a leaky potassium ion channels. So they are leaky, they are always open, they leak the ion. Suppose this is a potassium. So we know potassium is more inside than the outside. So they always leak the potassium from inside to outside. This type of ion channel is called as a leaky ion channel. Second type of ion channel is called as they are voltage gated or voltage operated ion channel. Voltage gated or voltage gated ion channel. This type of ion channel is having a special types of, suppose we can say it is this type of some door. Whenever changes of voltage, we know there is all cells having some resting membrane potential. In resting condition, they have a membrane potential, some membrane potential in a resting condition. It's basically minus 70 milliwatt. So this type of ion channels, voltage gated ion channels, when they losing the resting membrane potential up to the threshold value, or whenever they losing this resting membrane, means they whenever they lose the polarity, resting membrane potential, that time they are operated. Suppose I draw the ion channels, it is a voltage gated sodium ion channel. Suppose this is the ion channels, but they have a door. They are sensitive to what? Voltage. Whenever they are operated, means this lose the polarity, minus 70 to minus 45, they are sensitive to the specific voltage. Some voltage gated, they are specific to the threshold value. Some are sensitive to the very change in the voltage. So this sensitivity point is a set. Some are sensitive to very slight change in the voltage. Some are sensitive to the very, they require to operate the voltage gated ion channel, they require the more difference. So the sensitivity are fixed. So whenever they lose the polarity from resting membrane potential to their going to the more negative, less negative, they open. Now they open. So suppose this is a sodium voltage gated ion channel. Suppose this is a sodium voltage gated ion channel. So whenever they are open, what they do? They transport the sodium from outside to inside. Why outside to inside? Because we know sodium is a more in a extracellular fluid than the intracellular fluid. Suppose this is a voltage gated potassium channel. So what they do? They transport the potassium from inside to outside. Suppose this is a chlorine voltage gated ion channel. So what they do? Chlorine is a more in outside. So they transport the chlorine from outside to inside. So this is type of ion channel is called as a voltage gated. They are operated with a changing of voltage. Next ion channel is second type. Third type of ion channel is some ion channels are mechanical operated. Mechanical operated ion channel. This is usually present in a superficial receptor, our senses. Okay, mechanical means mechanical force. They are operated whenever apply some mechanical force like a touch, temperature, pressure. This all are mechanical force. So whenever we apply the pressure, so our receptor, they have a mechanical operated ion channels. So whenever give some pressure, this mechanical ion channels are operated and they make some local potential, and finally if they reach to the threshold potential, they produce the action potential further. So suppose a receptor present on a skin, tactile receptor, they having a mechanical operated sodium ion channel. Okay, draw the, okay, I know. So suppose this is a receptor and they are supplied by the nerve. So this receptor having a special types of ion channel which are operated with a mechanical force. Whenever mechanical force are given, they are stretch out. So whenever give a mechanical force, they stretch out, means they, whenever they stretch out, they operated. Suppose this is a sodium ion channel, sodium, this is a mechanical operated sodium ion channel. So whenever some give a touch, whenever someone touch you, what happen, a receptor present on skin, they contain the sodium ion channel which is mechanically operated. So whenever we mechanical force apply, this ion channel operate, and what they do, they influx the sodium inside. So maximum amount of the sodium go inside. So what they do, they lose the polarity. Resting membrane potential previously is -70 if milliwatt. So when sodium are influx, can it remain same? No. They become suppose they become -45. So this action potential or these potentials, they can now travel from one part to receptor to the nerve, and whenever they reach to the nerve, they produce the action potential in nerve and they when can feel. Okay, so this type of ion channel is called as a mechanical operated ion channel. And last type of ion channels, which is most important for our discussions, that is ligand operated ion channel. Ligand. So this type of ion channels having a special side. Suppose this type of special side here. This side, some ligand means some, what is ligand? Ligand means a substance which can bind with the receptor. Okay, so neurotransmitter, in our topic ligand is neurotransmitter. Either ligand may be hormone, chemical, drugs, toxins, whatever, but in our discussions ligand means we talk about the neurotransmitter. So this type of ion channel is called as a ligand operated ion channel. So this type of ion channels are operated when specific ligand are bind with these sites. Suppose this is they are operated with the acetylcholine. So whenever acetylcholine, this is acetylcholine, whenever they bind acetylcholine, then and then only this type of ion channels are operated. Without binding of acetylcholine, these are not operated, these are closed, remain closed. Suppose this type of ion channel is sodium ion channels, but we can say this type of ion channel is a ligand operated sodium ion channel. It's maybe ligand operated potassium ion channel, ligand operated calcium ion channel, ligand operated chlorine ion channels. So this postsynaptic neurons, they having a multiple receptor as well as ion channel which are usually ligand operated. Okay, so whenever neurotransmitter release, they bind with the some receptor as well as they bind with the some ion channels which is usually operated with the ligand. So whenever, suppose this is a ligand operated ion channel, so this is the neurotransmitter SCH, acetylcholine. Whenever they bind, they open and they transmit the sodium from outside to inside. Okay, this ligand may be ATP, we say in ATP sensitive ion channel. Okay, we see in whenever in our discussions of pancreas, beta cells having a special types of calcium ion channel, which potassium ion channels, which is sensitive to the ATP. Okay, so now we discuss about the how this transmission occurs. So Basically, ion channels is of four types. Some are leaky, some are operated with the voltage, some are operated with the mechanical force, and some are operated with the ligand. So now in next lecture we saw the this actions. Okay, have a break.